Hello guys and girls, thank you so much for joining me. How are we all doing? I hope you are well, I hope everyone is well. We are back for number 2 of this question and answers malarkey that I'm doing at the moment. It seemed to be doing quite well, so I'm going to do another. You ask the questions and I answer them. Questions on anything you want. Stupid, not stupid, serious, HTV related, plane related, anything at all. You want to ask me a question, I'll answer it, as long as it's not got no swearing in it or anything like that. So, yeah. It's Tuesday the 3rd of December. I'm off work. I've not got a job today, so yeah, I thought I'd record one of these and do something productive. A couple of people know why I'm not in work today. It may be revealed in a future vlog, but we will see. So let's get into it. First of all, it's not a question, or it could be a question, but I'm going to read it out. David Diggle. Massive fan of yours, mate. I love watching your vlogs. You're definitely a funny guy. I love your passion for the industry, and you've definitely inspired me to start my journey in the new year. I'd love it if you could give me a shout out on one of your vlogs. Cheers, mate. David Diggle from Middleton. So, David Diggle from Middleton! There you go, pal. Now, every F-bomber in the country knows that you watch my shiznit. And to be fair, you might have actually heard me, considering you're only in Middleton. Thanks for watching, mate. I really do appreciate it. So, with that out of the way, question number 1. Now, remember, I check these questions out as soon as they go up, and then I cut them and then save them into a file. So I can't actually remember what they say, but we'll get into them. Question number 1 from Andy. Great videos and answers. The childhood story. I can't remember what it said. I think it was a swear word, but I put a black box around it. Anyway, just a quick one if you've time to answer. Would you, if you had the chance, work with a company that would put you through the training and getting the license for Class 1 and you work there for an X amount of time until you paid back the training cost? Also another quick one. How do you find driving with a young family? Is it hard on... Excuse me. Is it hard on the family life? Sorry in advance if that's a tad personal. I'm trying to get all the info and input from people who's doing the job before I jump into it. Again, great video. Looking forward to the next vlog. Thank you for your question, mate. Or your 2 questions. The first question is a little bit difficult to answer. The thing with me, I like variety. I like change. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. So, it depends on the company, it depends on the pay, it depends on the attitude of the other drivers, it depends on the transport manager, it depends on the route planner, it depends on a lot of things. I wouldn't like to go and jump into a company but with both feet and then realise after a month of being there that they're all bumholes. I couldn't be doing with that. I think the training for an X amount of time until you've paid back the training, I think that's an absolute load of nonsense. I don't think that they can actually hold you down to that kind of contract. I have been in that situation before where I got offered training that I had to stay at a place for 2 years until it was actually the chemist. I got put through my pharmacist technician course and it was £2,700 I think. And I had to stay with that company for 2 years or else I had to pay it back. I signed a piece of paper and whatnot, but the piece of paper wasn't, you know, it wasn't with the ink that I writ on it. Is that the phrase? But anyway, I didn't last 2 years. I left and I never heard anything after that. I think it's just a way of trying to frighten you into staying. If a company has to offer you that, if a company has to say to you, we'll pay for your training but you have to stay with us for 2 years, I think that company understands that they're not very likeable. If a company has to try and force you to stay with them, then I'd be looking elsewhere. Alarm bells would be ringing straight away. You know, I don't think it'd be a good company to work for if they have to do that. If they turn around to you and say, we'd like to offer you Class 1 training, you know, you've been here with us now for X amount of months, X amount of years, we like the way you are, we'd like for you to progress up the ladder, would you do your Class 1 training with us? Yeah, of course I would. And if they're a company that are good, honest, reliable, then I don't see why a company would have to offer you that kind of contract. So I'd be a little bit wary about that, to be fair. I knew as soon as I started, I knew my phone was going to go off. I knew it. Give me a minute. So let's crack on into it. It were a bit of a long answer that. I'm sorry. I'll try and keep them a little bit shorter than that, but yeah, that's my opinion on it anyway. How do you find driving with a young family? Is it hard on the family life? That again, it completely depends on the job. Where I've been working on the fruit and veg, that's been massively difficult. It's been very hard on the family life because I've been leaving the house at 3:30 in the morning, 3:15 in the morning, and I've not been getting back until sometimes 8 o'clock at night. I've been doing 15-hour shifts. A lot of the drivers at that fruit and veg place are pushed for time. They're very much stretched out to the limits, some of them. So yeah, but other jobs like the flooring company, the builders company, the pop company, they're all 7 o'clock starts, 4 o'clock finish. If you can't get to your last drop before 4 o'clock, or you ain't going to make it back to the yard for 4 o'clock, then you just don't do it. You turn around and come back. So it all depends on the job that you want, really. Yeah, I can't really delve into it any more than that. It depends on the job. If you're getting a job where you're working 15-hour days, then yeah, you don't go to bed with your missus at night. You don't tuck your kids into bed at night. You know, there is days where I've not actually seen Gracie for 3 days, and that is heartbreaking. When me and my missus first got together, I was working nights at Bidvest, and I come off nights because, well, one of the reasons was because I wanted to go to bed with my missus at night. That was one of my main reasons for leaving Bidvest. And no, I'm not going to bed with her at night, and that's something that really tips me off, because I think it's important for couples that they go to bed together at night. I know it's not always possible, but you know, most of the week they should be going to bed together at night. That's my personal opinion. So it can be. I hope I've answered that. You just have to find the right job. Number 2, Joas. Nice video, Didi. Some great information there, especially about agencies. I've now passed my class 2 about a month ago. Got my licence back, but still waiting for the CPC card. However, I'm going back in a week on Monday to do my class 1. I didn't know about the Q&A, but I have questions about agencies. I've always been self-employed. I've had my own decorating business for the past 3 years, so I have no previous employer references to speak of. Will this make it harder to get on with agencies? No. There's your simple answer. No. I've been self-employed for 7 years now. I've had no references whatsoever. I have sent a couple of CVs off to different places, and it just says self-employed scaffolder from 2000 and whatever to 2019, and that's it. If they say, have you got any references for anyone you work for, I just say, no, I used to do subcontracting. They used to phone me up and say, can you come and do 2 days in such and such a place, and I need you to put up this. And that was it. So I never worked with anyone for any extended period of time. I was in and out of building sites all over the place. That's what I told them. Agencies, I don't think agencies even ask for references anymore, do they? I think you just go in there and tell them exactly how you feel and what you want, and if they can sort you out, they sort you out. So that's that question. That's that question answered. Question number 3. Adam Jones. I missed the questions, pal. Have you had any infringements on your taco yet? And if so, what for? I know when I first started, I completely forgot about working time and got one within my first couple of shifts. Safe to say, I haven't done it since. Yes, I have got 1 infringement on my taco up to now. If you watch my vlog that's completely out of time, and it's a picture of me going, oh! On that one, I didn't actually stop at the services on the way home. I just drove straight back. The services at Butch was full, so I drove through it and then off and then carried on. Come off at Aydock. There's nowhere to park around Aydock apart from the hotel, so I just drove straight to the industrial estate because it's only 2 minutes off the Haydock roundabout at the M6. I come off there, drove back to the yard, parked it up in the yard and did a printout and said that there was no safe place to park. I did 10 hours and 7 minutes driving. That was what my infringement was for. I don't know if you're interested, but the way I work it now, it's what I do every single day that I'm driving alone in a truck, I keep saying wagon, I need to call it a truck. I have a 15-minute break within my first 2 hours of... Excuse me. Every time I start talking, I get wind. I have a 15-minute break within the first 2 hours of my shift. So if I'm on the Newcastle run, I'll stop at Safeway Services and have 15 to 20 minutes where I'll have a cup of coffee and something to eat, some porridge or a summer berries mixed compote fruit thing that Starbucks do. I'll have one of them and I'll have 15, 20 minutes, and then I know I'm covered then for 9 hours of work, up to 9 hours of work. So if I start at 4, I have to have another 15 by 1 o'clock. But what I'll do is I'll just have an half an hour after that. So I'll have my 15 in the morning, then I'll have a half an hour before 1 o'clock. Then that covers me all day. That covers my driving time, it resets it, and it sorts me out for my breaks for the rest of the day. So if I only do 4 hours and 25 minutes of driving, but I have my 45-minute break, I can then drive another 4.5 hours, and I can work up to 15 hours. That's how I do it every single day. So I hope that answers that question. Question number 4, Kev B. Gen question. You said last week you did not see the need to go to C+E. What has changed your mind? Honestly, 7.5 tonners and vans have changed my mind. I kind of regret saying that I don't mind doing 7.5 tonners and vans. Just because, plain and simply, just because they're an absolute graft. They're uncomfortable and they're hard work. And you know, I'm not frightened of hard work, but if I know that there is easier work there and it's at the exact same place, and I'm not being chosen for that easy work at least, you know, 3 times a week. If I've done my training, it's cost me £1,500 to get my Class 2 licence. But yet, I am literally being put in vans and 7.5 tonners 6 days a week. And it just feels like I'm having the mick taken out of me. So that is basically what's wanted me to do my Class 1 sooner rather than later. You know, if I was in Class 2s 3 days a week and 7.5 tonners and vans another 3 days a week, that's completely fine. I'm alright with that. But I'm not doing that. I'm being put in 7.5 tons and vans every single day, and I'm just getting a bit fed up of it, to be honest, because it's really hard work. It's making quite decent days really long. You know, when I went to Meadowhall in a 7.5 tonner, I had to sack truck, which is that little wheelbarrow type thing. I had to go up in a lift to the top, all the way around a shopping precinct, to drop the stuff at a back door to another place, walk all the way back through, down the lift, sack the sack truck back up again, back in the lift, back all the way across, and back through, down, and the same again and same. And I went up and down in the lift about 12 times with sack truck stuff, with the sack truck full of stuff. Whereas if I had in a pallet and a tail lift, I could have just pumped it off, walked it all the way through, and unstacked the pallet straight into the fridge at the place that I would deliver into. So instead of it being, you know, a 10-hour day or a 12-hour day, it's ended up being a 15-hour day, which I just think is unnecessary. I think it's a bit daft. And because I opened my mouth and said I'm happy to do anything, I feel like I am just being given the crap that no one else wants to do. Personally, I might be moaning a little bit there. Well, I am moaning a little bit, but I paid a lot of money to have my Class 2. I want to drive Class 2s. If I got put at a place that did me Class 2s multi-dropping every day of the week, like where I'm supposed to be going tomorrow for the rest of the week, I'm not going to tell you where, but you will see the vlog. I will remember my camera. I'd be happy to stay on Class 2s multi-dropping, because I really do enjoy multi-dropping, just not in vans and things that ain't got tail lifts, because it's just hard work and it doesn't need to be. That's my personal opinion. Question number 5, Ben Blakesley. Hi mate, you ever been stuck in a job you hate but can't leave because you can't afford the drop? I drive a van but earn more than I ever could on Class 1 or 2. What would you do? Oh man, give me a minute. Honestly, I don't know. I'm sorry, I can't. That's a tough one. That, I suppose it depends on how much you like the job. When I left scaffolding, I was told that on Class 2 I'd be working 70, 80 hours a week and I'd be earning minimum wage. I'd be earning 300 quid. Scaffolding, there were some weeks where I didn't earn much, but there was some weeks where I earned quite a lot. And I suppose it's a gamble you've just got to take. It all depends on you, really, doesn't it? If I was driving the van that I've been driving recently and earning 900 quid a week, or I could drive class 2s like what I'm going to be driving tomorrow and earning 600 quid a week. It's hard. It's an hard one, that. I'm sorry. I can't answer that. I don't know what I'd do. Unless I was in the situation, I couldn't actually tell you what I'd do. Oh, God, it's an hard one, that. Do you need all the money? Do you need it all? If you was on 900 quid a week, do you need that desperately to live off? Or is it just nice to have that amount of money to come in so you don't have to worry about money? Is that what it is? Oh, it's an hard one, that. I'm sorry. I can't answer it. I don't know. It's an hard one. Question number 6. Oh. Why? Nath Vlogs. If you could meet one of the road legends, which one would it be? You're well horrible, you. That ain't even nice. That's horrible, that. There's 2 that I really want to meet. That I want to meet soon. Jay being the obvious one. Because I've watched his vlogs for God knows how long now. I watched his vlogs since the cheese factory incident. And he told me never to mention the cheese factory again, but I'm sorry. I've watched his vlogs since then. And he's not been an inspiration as such. But I have been eager to watch every time he uploads. And the other one would be Scott. I love Wales. I love Welsh people. He's funny. He's creative. And I just like his personality. I'd love to go for a drink with them too. I think it'd just be an absolute barrel of laughs. Nothing against the other road legends though, because I do love all 5 of them. I think they're mint. I think they make a perfect team. I think the team of them 5 is bang on. And I don't think they need any more additions for anyone that's been saying stuff on my vlogs. I think as a 5, they've got the perfect balance between professionalism, creativity, just the different views that you get throughout the trucking industry. Yeah, but Jay and Scott, they're the 2 I'd love go for a drink with. Them 2, I think it'd be awesome. I think it'd be a barrel of laughs. Question number 7. Saul Porter Crowther. Yeah. When you do your class 1, will you stay in agency work or get a job with a full-time company? If so, what kind of work? When I do my class 1, stay in agency. Probably stay with agency. I can't actually see me getting a job with a company full-time. In most cases, as bad as this sounds, in most cases, agency lads are on more than the full-time workers. When I do the fruit and veg and I do a 15-hour day, I'm earning quite a lot more than what the permanent lads are on, which is ridiculous to me personally. Where's the incentive to go and get a full-time job and work? But yeah, and with what type of work would it be? It would have to be random pallet dropping stuff or random deliveries. It couldn't be a trunking job. I wouldn't be able to do trunking where you just go from one place to one place to the back like that all the time, like my dad used to do. My dad used to work for British Gas, and he used to go from British Gas in Brightmate up to Livingston and then back and then go home. The next day he'd go in, go to Livingston, then go back, go home. The next day he'd go in, go to Livingston and go home. Oh my lord, any wonder he got bored of trucking. That must be the most monotonous thing ever, seeing the same road every single day, all day. Oh no, I couldn't do that. I really could not do that. It would have to be completely random drops all over the place, like, you know, like Maxi or Keedwell or that kind of thing. It'd have to be something like that. I couldn't do the trunking for any period of time. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it now up until Christmas. It's the 3rd of December. I'd do trunking for UPS or Hermes or something like that if the money was good for a month, but that's it. After that, it'd have to change. I couldn't do it constantly as a consistent job. I'd have to do random drops with random products. You know, wood one day, cement the next day, fence posts one day. You know, I mean, to be fair, I'd probably like to get on containers, like what Genco does. That'd be something that I'd probably like to do, because you're going to someplace different every single time. So yeah. Question number 8, Lewis Bates. Mate, how long did it take from having your Class 2 licence to getting into work? I got my Class 2 licence last week and don't know where to start. Do I need to make a new CV to give to agencies? The thing that held me back was my CPC card. It took 6 weeks to get my CPC card through. In that time, I had applied or signed on at about 5 agencies, I think. I actually signed on at Driver Hire after I'd got my CPC card. I think I signed on a Thursday, and on Monday they found me a day's work, and then they found me a day's work on Thursday. Then the week after they found me 3 days work, and then the week after that I was on 5 days, and I did 5 days for about 4 weeks non-stop, and then it went 6 days, 5 days, 6 days, 5 days. So I got work the week after I signed on at Driver Hire. All the other agencies were a waste of space, but that's probably because of my IN10, probably. So yeah, it wasn't long at all. Chris B. Hi bud, you do make me smile, I must say. I was going to ask, I see you're doing mostly agency driving, but would you ever consider something like driving for Eddie Stobart's or any other big hauliers, UK or even Europe? Even with Stobart's issues right now, I would guess the company will still be operating in years to come. Drive safe, mate, and if we ever meet at a truck stop, brekkie is on me. Great to see Leeds win today, by the way. It was 4-0. I was a hammering that at Middlesbrough, wasn't it? And I was at the side of the Riverside yesterday. I was at the side of Riverside yesterday. I think I've just answered this question though, haven't I? That's what I mean. I put them into files and forget about them. Yeah, I've already answered it. I would like to drive for someone like that, but it'd have to be the right time, the right conditions and whatnot. My missus has actually said I can go tramping if I want to, because I'm hardly here anyway. But I don't know. The time would have to be right. Oh yeah, and Jay, if you're watching, I have actually messaged you on Instagram about that place that you told me to. You told me to message you, so I did do. Have a look on Instagram if you want to. What's happening with Eddie Stobart's? I've no idea. I went to T-Sport the other day and Eddie Stobart's were absolutely everywhere. There was literally thousands of them. I took a picture, but the sun was right behind the wagons, so you couldn't see them. It all went black, unfortunately. But yeah, I have been offered European driving work. I don't know how trustworthy the source is, but I have been offered 8 days away driving to Poland and back. So I said yeah, but again, it all depends on the time and the condition and everything. Question number 10. Trucker Craig. You missed my question out. What question, mate? Lol. Do you pee sitting down? That's a dope. Oh, dear. A question with a lot of answers, my friend. It all depends on time and place, conditions, mental ability. It depends on a lot of stuff. If Gracie wakes up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm like that, I'm sorry, I ain't spraying and praying. I am sitting down to have a wee. If I've had 12 pints of Stella, nope, I ain't standing up having a wee at home. I am sitting down. First thing in the morning, 3 o'clock, it's usually a sit down wee. I'm not afraid to admit it. I am not afraid to admit it. I am lazy. Well, not lazy, but I like an easy life. I will do anything to make my life easy. And if that means sitting down to have a pee, you betcha I am sitting down to have a pee. If I'm in a pub though, I will stand up. Yeah, the majority of the time I stand up. But if I'm at home and I'm knackered or I'm drunk, I will be sitting down to pee. I hope that answered your question. So if you've got any more questions, feel free to ask them. I am all ears. Take care, guys. Comment, like and subscribe. Bang your questions in below. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.